5 real-life X-Men. Genetic mutations are a staple of superhero origin stories, giving otherwise ordinary citizens amazing superhuman abilities. However, most don't realize how many people walking the streets of the real world possess these same sorts of mutant powers. They may not be as flashy as weather manipulation or laser vision, but the abilities of the following individuals are still worthy of a comic book storyline. 1. Super Baby. The physical abilities of the average infant consist mainly of limb flailing and gurgling while looking vaguely confused. Not so for a young Michigan boy born with a rare genetic condition, or possibly with the soul of Hercules. Liam Hoekstra of Grand Rapids, Michigan was born with what doctors call a myostatin deficiency, which basically means he is genetically predisposed to generate muscle rather than fat. It also means that by 5 months old, he could perform physical feats usually reserved for expert gymnasts. By 8 months, he was doing pull-ups, presumably leading many to wonder if some sort of prank show was being filmed at the local gym. Very few cases of this mutation have been documented, and researchers are attempting to break down the exact cause of the condition. Until then, young Liam will simply have to deal with maintaining a godlike physique with little to no effort. Tough break. 2. The real Batman. What most of us would consider to be a life-shattering bout of misfortune is but a minor inconvenience to one man. Having no vision, he has developed the ability to see his surroundings using echolocation. Bruce Wayne, meet your replacement. Daniel Kish lost his vision to cancer at only 13 months old. Having lived virtually his entire life blind, he has adapted to his fate shockingly well. He is able to click his tongue and visualize his surroundings using the faint echoes that bounce off of various objects. He has no trouble whatsoever getting around. In fact, one of his favorite hobbies is hiking. While it may not be a genetic mutation exactly, it's still an incredibly impressive feat of adaptation. And it's one that Kish teaches to other blind individuals through his organization, World Access for the Blind. So far, he has taught 500 people, mostly children, to echolocate. 3. They who feel no pain. The quest to avoid pain has led man to develop countless drugs and practices over the millennia, but some among us will never benefit from any of them, because they will never have to. Congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis, or SIPA, is a genetic condition which prevents the sufferer from feeling pain or extreme temperatures. It sounds like an amazing gift from Mother Nature, but it turns out that pain is kind of a good thing. People with the disorder often injure or mutilate themselves without realizing it because they never felt the injury. One child sufferer fell from the set of a playground and only learned that he had shattered his pelvis after a cautionary X-ray revealed the damage. Still, immunity to pain has its obvious advantages. These individuals are able to shrug off injuries and illnesses that would incapacitate an ordinary person. Scientists even hope to isolate and study the gene responsible for SIPA in order to lessen the suffering of those with chronic pain. 4. Mind Master. There once lived a man whose capacity for knowledge was so far beyond that of the ordinary person that he was, by definition, superhuman. No, it wasn't Albert Einstein. It was a mentally challenged man from Utah. Kim Peek was born with extreme brain defects that rendered him incapable of performing the simplest of tasks. He needed assistance to even brush his teeth. He also had difficulty with social interaction, only understanding the simplest human speech. However, he also had the ability to read 2 pages of a book at once, reading 1 page with each of his eyes, and he never forgot a single thing he ever read. He remembered every word of countless Shakespearean plays and would correct the actors' mistakes mid-show if he saw them perform. Having read roughly 12,000 books before his death in 2009, Peek was basically an organic Wikipedia. His mental abilities were so amazing that they inspired the 1988 film Rain Man. 5. The Incredible Insomniac. Many superheroes operate exclusively at night, beating criminals to a bloody pulp after a long day at the office. This raises an interesting question though. When do they sleep? Well, should one Vietnamese man ever choose the path of the vigilante, that won't be an issue. Hai Nhiao, an elderly Vietnamese farmer, has not slept for 43 years. After an illness in 1973, he found that no matter what he tried, he simply couldn't sleep. This would be fatal for the average human being, yet Niall suffers absolutely no ill effects. His mind and body remain perfectly sound. He performs the daily chores on his farm with no difficulty. In fact, he uses the extra time to get more work done. It's unknown exactly what happened to Niall's genetic code to allow him to survive these decades of sleeplessness. He refuses to leave his small village to allow researchers to study him.